What is up, guys? Amp here, bringing you some Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 gameplay. And today's kind of interesting because I've got a couple things to talk about. One, the major thing, it's all new stuff again. I said I wasn't gonna do it, but let's do it as often. Do it as often. Let's clarify here. All right. Well, let's get into the stuff that I want to talk about though, because one of them is very Call of Duty centric, and I feel it's appropriate for this video. And there's a lot. So, first off, if you guys haven't seen it, I know a lot of you guys are Halo guys as well. Oh, by the way, this game plays some headquarters. I went in by myself, and I don't really know the map yet. This is the first time I've actually played it in matchmaking. It's a black box, by the way, so I'll run into some stuff. But anyways, first off, Halo stats. If you guys haven't seen it, Bungie posted, since they're transferring all their stats and everything for Halo Reach over to, and Halo 3 I guess, over to 343 so that they take care of that and Bungie can continue working on their other project. There is a huge infographic that Bungie made about all of the different stats across the 4 games that they recorded. Halo 4, not Halo 4, I started off with that. Halo 2, back from 2004, then Halo 3 and ODST, and then moving on to Halo Reach. So they posted a whole bunch of stuff regarding all of those games, and it's really interesting to look at. And some of the stuff that they laid out with how many years and stuff, it's pretty good. You guys check it out. I'll put a link in the description. All right. Second thing I want to talk about. I know some of you guys saw my Mass Effect 3 demo gameplay from a couple weeks ago. I'm probably going to post at least one more because I still playing that game and I enjoy it. But a lot of people have been iffy about the ending for that game, and I kind of want to make a quick comment about it because everybody's doing so. I feel like overall the game was entertaining to me. I really enjoyed the game. I didn't enjoy it as much as Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 2 just felt like a huge improvement from Mass Effect 1, and then Mass Effect 3 wasn't as much. But it was a good ending to the series, I think. The final 10 minutes is what everybody's up in arms about, but I feel like it sort of fit where the story was going, but I definitely could see it have been doing different things. It could have been better. It could have been a little better. And I think that's what they're going to do with the DLC, which is definitely, as a new fan, I was still disappointed by the finale, but I think them releasing this DLC for a different ending is going to be a pretty good thing for everybody. But I feel like overall the last 10 minutes were sort of a disappointment, but in the end you sort of had all these closure stories throughout the game for all of your different squad mates. So it really sort of wrapped up everything that you did in Mass Effect 2, and it just fit, right? Well, at least my experience, that was what it was. Everybody else has a different experience, so I can't speak for everybody. But yeah, that's my opinion. Mass Effect 3. I'll definitely post at least one more gameplay for multiplayer. They're pretty long, like this video, but hopefully you guys will enjoy it. I'll also hopefully talk about the DLC once it comes out and I get some impressions on it. But moving on, Black Ops 2. Now, just very recently, last week I talked about World War 02 leaving Infinity Ward, but on the flip side, there was another big Call of Duty news thing, and that was Black Ops 2 rumors. Now these are all multiplayer rumors because campaign, in my opinion, it's not as big as Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 3, because that story is continued for the 3 iterations. This one, Black Ops 2, is hopefully going to be a continuation, if it's even going to be called Black Ops 2. We haven't even gotten a official confirmation of that, but a lot of leaked stuff says it is. But I hope the story sort of continues the story arc that started in Black Ops 1, because, why else would you name it like that if the campaign wasn't going to follow? But I feel like it wasn't as important because, we'd had all this build up to Modern Warfare 3's finale, I guess. We don't know if it's going to be Modern Warfare 4 or if they're going to change it to like futuristic warfare or whatever. But that's further speculation. Right now we have some rumors to cover. So these are all multiplayer, and I think it's looking pretty good. I really admired and enjoyed Black Ops just for all the balancing that Treyarch did. Everything in that game just felt right to me. Obviously, the FAMAS, was overused, and I think that's something that a lot of people don't take in consideration when they consider something overpowered. Is just because it's used a lot doesn't mean it's overpowered. Um, Obviously, it had some of the least recoil out of the assault rifles, but I mean the Galil, that was a pretty overpowered weapon too, but just not as many people used it. So, you know, I'd get outshot by the FAMAS. I know a lot of other people, good players, who would get outshot with while using the FAMAS by the Galil. So, all right, that was. Let's get that out of the way. So, to the rumors. First off, game types. Start off with the game types. First off, there's a new game type they're going to add, and it's called Escort, and it's sort of like VIP from Halo, where you have one person that you're trying to keep alive, and if they die, the other team scores a point, or multiple amount of points, whatever they decide to do. Except this is going to be like Search and Destroy, where you only have one life. So it's really important that you keep your team alive and keep your... Hopefully they have some sort of objective in this, because otherwise you're just going to have camping in the spawn, and then one person from each team pushing out, I don't see how this is going to work out too well unless they can really tweak it so that there's something you have to push out to do. I don't know. Anyways, Drop Zone and Kill Confirmed are also going to return from Modern Warfare 3. I think Team Defender and Infected, I guess, aren't going to be coming back, at least according to these rumors. Another big thing, point streaks. Point streaks are back. They're going to be the kill streaks in Black Ops 2. Except that they're changing it up a little bit, which I really like. They're actually including a bigger objective rewards. So every time you plant and defuse, I think I couldn't get it exactly from the article that I was looking at. But when you plant the bomb, you get 2 points to your kill streak. An interesting one for domination is if you capture a neutral flag, like on your start, you capture a flag right at your spawn, you get 1 point. But if you capture an opponent's flag, so you run all the way across the map and capture C flag behind their back, then you get 2 points. So I think that's really cool that they're sort of adding in these new elements to the point streak system, and I hope to see them sort of expand or branch a little differently from the whole assault support specialist, although it looks like that's how it's going to be. One thing to note, they weren't going to have any more RCXDs, which I know a lot of people are going to be happy about. I'm sort of mute on that point. But an interesting addition that they also mentioned is that Heat Vision is going to be a point streak as well. And I think this is really cool. I think it's going to be a hit or miss, because honestly, in my opinion, it's not going to be too big of a deal. Mainly because I think it's like a 5 kill streak or 5 point streak, and it's just an extra scope you throw on your gun, so it's not, you have to have your sights up, and you can't use it in competitive settings because most competitive settings aren't going to have kill streaks. So it's sort of out of my realm of, I mean, obviously I'm going to play public matches, but sort of out of my realm of opinion at this point. Another thing they're going to add into the point streaks is an item package, and this will drop alongside your care packages, and it's going to have stuff like body armor or a rocket launcher or like single-use stuff that you can use while you're playing. And I think it's sort of an interesting concept, but I don't know if I'm going to use it that much, just because I'm used to the regular point streak stuff, and I'm usually just the support guy, so I don't really need all that extra stuff. Maybe the body armor, but that just sounds like the Ballistic Vest in Modern Warfare 3, and I don't really use those either. So, alright, moving on. Prestiges. This one's really interesting, because this is sort of brand new to Call of Duty, how they're going to do this. There's going to be 15 prestiges, just like Black Ops, and each one is going to have 50 ranks, same as Black Ops, except every 2 ranks, every 2 prestiges that is. So, first prestige is going to have 50 ranks, along with 0 prestige, and then third, I believe, I don't know how they're going to work it, maybe second, something like that, they're going to have a 5 rank increase, so it's going to be 55 for 2 ranks, and then it's going to be 60 for 2 ranks, and then it's going to be 70 or 65, and then 70, and then 75, all the way up to 90, so the final prestige is going to have 90 ranks, which I think is really cool, honestly. I'm not sure how they're going to work out the experience thing yet, whether they're going to increase the amount of experience in each prestige once you get those 5 extra ranks on there, or if it's just going to take you the same amount of experience spread out across those prestiges. I honestly think spread out across those prestiges would be a lot nicer, but I doubt they're going to do that. So it's just going to be a lot longer. But it keeps you involved a little bit more. So it's sort of their goal in the end. The other thing they're going to use to keep you involved is Elite 2.0. They're going to do Call of Duty Elite, continue that on for Black Ops 2. And I really think this is going to be interesting because we haven't seen it at clan system since Halo 2. And Halo 2 didn't have all that much of a capability with clans. It was just sort of like another friends list. But in this case, Elite 2.0 will allow you to have clan match lobbies inside of the game. So you join in with your clan members, I assume, from a different sort of friends list, like the built-in friends list they have now in Call of Duty games. And I assume you can just invite other clans that way, and you do like ranked matches, and that ranks you on Elite. And I think that's really cool. They're also going to have tournaments, and I honestly think that's a really good step up for Elite. They're also going to do dedicated stats. They're going to be called Elite Stats for all your games, including those clan matches and stuff. So that's going to be pretty cool. And again, this is all rumor, so I hope these things come true, but can't be sure yet. Next up is some stuff that they're removing. First off, no Moabs or nukes, so none of that big stuff for you guys. Next thing is Last Stand. Thank God they're not going to have Last Stand again. No death streaks either, which is awesome. They're also going to take out the flamethrower kill streak, which, you know, sort of hit or miss, moot point for me as well. I never really had too much of an issue or had too much of a liking for the attachment, so it's not too big of a deal for me. You know, sometimes we throw it on for like the random games that you just throw on a random class and stuff with your friends, but otherwise we didn't really use it. Improved sniping, which is interesting because I know a lot of people were upset about the sniping in Black Ops. I honestly wasn't, because I hate watching kids run around on your team with sniper out and like potentially lose the game for you. I feel like if you're gonna go do, they need to have a playlist. Honestly, they need to have a playlist where you just snipers, and then kids can do whatever the hell they want. They can go against other snipers, and those clips will even be even better than doing it against pub kids. So yeah, the improvements though, the one they mentioned was less sway, which, you know, is kind of nice. For hardscopers like me, it's kind of nice. But they're also not gonna increase the aim assist on the guns, which is sort of the big thing they took out of in Black Ops compared to Modern Warfare 2. So that's pretty, you know, not too much of an increase. They didn't say everything they are improving, but the big thing I want to talk about right before we get to the end of this one is perks to pro. This is going to be a really interesting process because it's going to have the 3 challenge thing again, like they did in Black Ops, which I really liked, versus the grind it took to get like 200 headshots with a weapon. You know, that sort of bullshit that they have in the Modern Warfare series, Modern Warfare side of Call of Duty. But it's going to have 2 different options for pro. So, for example, the example they provided was the perk Speed, which reduces your aim down sight speed. When you get it to pro, you can either choose Pro 1, which lets you swap your weapons faster, or you can choose Pro 2, which allows you to deploy/throw your equipment faster, which I honestly, you know, that's going to be a tough choice for me. I'm probably going to end up using Speed, but I don't know which of those 2 I'm going to pick. So I'm really excited to see sort of what they do with that whole scheme, and it's interesting to choose between the 2, and then you get to switch it once you get Prestige, and you have to level it up again. But once you pick that option, it's set until you Prestige. So once you get to that 15th, it's going to be interesting to see what people decide to use, if they even go that far. So next up, combat training. I know a lot of people didn't really use combat training, and I was included in that. But, you know, we'd use it every once in a while, just to warm up or whatever. If we were setting up for a LAN or whatever, we just jump on there instead of going into pubs, because you don't know about the whole screen setup and what TV you're going to use if you're doing split screen, that sort of thing. But combat trainings have a little bit of a revamp. They said it's going to look a little bit closer to survival mode, or it's going to act a little bit closer to survival mode in Modern Warfare 3 than it looked like in Black Ops, where the enemy would just take a while to shoot at you, and once they shot at you, you were done. So that'd be interesting to see. I hope that that's sort of a viable thing to do in the game. It's unfortunate that you had to be connected live to do it, but otherwise, it's a neat feature, but not really necessary. And then finally, zombies are going to be back. They didn't have any sort of details on zombies. Hopefully it's Nazi zombies. I don't want to see them sort of stray away from that because that was a cool part of the game. And I feel like that's going to be sort of the core thing that a lot of my friends and I do in this game, because pubs can get kind of boring after a while, but running and grinding through the zombies to get those achievements and just sort of hold out with your friends, it's pretty cool. I love zombies. Co-op stuff is always sort of my favorite thing. That's why I like Portal so much, and all the sort of co-op stuff you can do in like Battlefield, and even the survival mission, not the survival missions, but the actual Spec Ops missions in Spec Ops are pretty cool for me too. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and let's see, Mass Effect next week? Something like that. Mass Effect or Halo, we'll see.